as we pause for a moment of silence to honour and remember Willem Rocket. Willem was not only a teammate, but a true club man, kind, committed, and always ready to help wherever it was needed. Whether it was pulling on the boots, lending a hand at the canteen, or supporting his fellow players, Willem gave everything he had. Although his time with the Darwin Buffaloes was short, his impact was lasting. He was deeply respected, much loved, and will be sorely missed by all who knew him. We now take a moment to reflect on Willem's life and the positive mark he left on the Darwin Buffaloes Football Club and the wider football community.
Good afternoon and welcome to TIO Stadium in Darwin for the continuation of round one of the 2025-26 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League. It's the third game in round one and we've had a couple of crackers so far and hoping this one continues with the trend. My name's Stu Davis. I'm joined today by Will Zwar. Welcome, Will. What do you make of this one?
Yeah, going to be a really interesting game and season ahead for both these sides. They're sort of the two teams from last year who you say need to make the most moves in the off-season. Palmerston probably the third there. I think it looks like they're going to go more the youth and development. But these two, interested to see who they've brought in from down south to bolster their stocks today. About to get underway. Phillips on Atkinson in the ruck. And pretty neutral contest there in the middle. Both rucks still chasing after it. Ball popped out. They're looking for Thompson, but just goes beyond him. He's now picking it up. Gets a handball out wide. Clee check sides it forward. Finds grass and then rolls out over the boundary line.
Yeah, I think it was actually Big Smiley in the ruck for Buffalo's Will, but he played a couple of games for Tiwi a couple of years ago, but hasn't been in the NTFL for a little while now.
Now on the half-back flank, Buffalo's looking to push forward. And that's not a good kick. Buffalo's won their first game last year against the Wanderers, and you thought they were possibly going to go the season without a win. That's how they were travelling at the time. So perhaps a bogey team for the Muck-Mucks here. Buffaloes would want to get an early win. They rebound again off half-back. That goes just beyond the hands there of Coombs. Riley Coombs there, and now spills out towards the boundary line.
Yeah, you talked about interesting to see who comes into the side. Just going through, both sides have got a number of recruits from around the country. I noticed that Wanderers have got a contingent of 4 from the Millicent Football Club in South Australia, so interesting connection there.
Ball comes down now. Taken out, kicked inside the forward 50. Again, can't find a target. Pushing onto it, there's Jack Jones. Breaking through, there's Humphrey wearing the helmet. Now handball back through traffic looking for Stokes. He has a snap on goal, touched on the line, and it will go through for the first score of the afternoon.
Yeah, good work by Henry White. Just parked himself as the goalkeeper there and got a hand to it as it came in. Away quickly, but under pressure, and Buffs the chance to rebound here, inside forward 50. It's a high chip kick, but under pressure, and it's floated out of bounds on the full, so some relief for Wanderers.
And last night we saw the grand final replay. Both those sides, you think it's a little bit more about dusting off the cobwebs. Plenty of wins to come for them, but for these two sides, realistically, they don't know if they're going to be contending for finals, or maybe it's going to be a lean year. I think they'd both be really keen to start with the 4 points on the board.
Yeah, absolutely, they will. As the ball goes over the fence there, of course. Before the match today, there was a lineup of the players in a circle around the ground and a minute's silence in observation of William Rocket's passing, a great player and clubman for Buffaloes in an unfortunate incident earlier this year, and we of course wish all his family and all his Darwin Buffaloes family our commiserations and best wishes.
And players across the league will be wearing black armbands in honour of Willem, a mark of respect for his lasting contribution, not just in this game, but across the men's and the women's competition as well, all games there. Smiley gets the tap down and then wraps up his opponent, doing the work at ground level and in the air. Umpire will have another ball up there. Cody Leggett there wearing number 1. He was probably one of their best players last year. Good to see him returning for the Wanderers this year.
Yeah, fantastic. He's got a coaching role with them as well this year, so that's just terrific for the Wanderers club. Been a fantastic acquisition, of course, plays in the waffle for East Fremantle during the winter months.
Whistle blown. Looks like it's going to be a free kick going to the Buffaloes. Almost on centre wing there when he kicks it. Smiley gets the handball off. Now he pushes it to centre half forward, just goes beyond the target, trying to mop up there. A lot of darker blue jumpers there. Dos Santos, he pushes it out, finds a target at half back. Looks to go further afield. juggled it there, but a good mark in the end. They keep trying to work. That wasn't a good kick. Turned over. Now coming through, Jack Austin. He fumbles as well. Handball goes back inside. Buffaloes now. Austin will have another crack. He goes inside looking for a lead. Oh, good body work just to keep his feet. Couldn't take the mark there. Was Grace. He puts a tackle on. Now rolling around. And the Wanderers try and get it out of there. Nearly good hands there from Stokes. Just misjudged the fly. We'll have another crack. Won't pick it up though. Errant handball comes out from Wanderers. Then a big strong tackle there from Keelan Fijo. Bit of a deadlock at the moment. Charlie Arthur trying to get involved as well. Handball comes inboard. Now rolling through. Leighton Chisholm. His kick wasn't on target. Another crack with the tackle. To Sean Wright, who looks to pick it up. And then Chisholm, he just gets it into the hot spot, one-on-one in the goal square. Picking it up, having to handball it there was Riley Coombs. Comes back, Matthew Motlop, today's captain. He finds a target in that back pocket there. Pushes it out wide again. Just trying to gain a little bit of momentum in that possession game, Wanderers at the moment. Gee, that was a tight kick. He nearly went to play on Didwerchin. He will now. We'll go for the switch. Gee, that kick needed to be good and it wasn't, but he's earned himself a free kick. Late hit after the disposal.
Yeah, a little bit scrambly, but you saw when Jared Stokes was involved, his clean skills difference.
Billy Shanks' kick wasn't good. Wanderers will mop it up, but again, they're not doing so very cleanly, and it's taken over there by Luke Roberts.
So just an arm wrestle here, just the one behind on the board so far to the Buffaloes as we go past 6 minutes in this first quarter. Very warm day today, forecast maximum of 37 degrees. There's a pretty strong wind blowing, but yeah, tough conditions for the players.
Picked up there by Thompson. He'll roll tight on the boundary line and try and snap it forward. Now comes into Stokes. His handball was intercepted. Roberts offers a shepherd, waiting for Coombs to pick it up. He does now, rolls it forward. Ricochets off a number of plays, barely kept in. Umpire says it went over the boundary line.
Yeah, good reactions there, but just couldn't keep it in play. So another stoppage here.
Smiley was off on the bench there for about 40 seconds, I thought. He's already back on. They're not contesting the ruck here, but no doubt he'll be in there in a second. Ball pops back to Clark, and now back to Wright. Then Clark again had to get rid of it pretty quickly. Good hands there from Riley Coombs. Two of the Coombs is out there. Riley with the ball in hand and Luke with that bleached blonde hair. Well, gee, nearly picked out the umpire there. Stokes will have to move quick. He does. Now pushes it, or he's picked out one bloke in between a few. Can he take the mark? No. Handball comes out though. Now kick with Hutchison.
Ooh.
Will it bounce through? No, just the wrong side of the post.
He was trying to work back from left to right, but just missed to the left-hand side. So yeah, the two Coombs boys, Luke and Riley, play their football with Labrador in the quaffle. So Wanderers bringing the ball in, grandstand side again, bit of a wobbler of a kick as it's punched back in the direction it came from at ground level. White just tries to advance it around the boundary line, taps it over the boundary line. Some appeals for deliberate, but a sensible call is a boundary throw in.
So 2 behind so far for the Buffaloes, the only scores. 8 minutes and 20 seconds into this first quarter here. Big game up for grabs in round 1. Ball goes over the top. Now with Smiley, he's been pretty good so far. Kicks it very high, looking for a target. Now rolling around there. Jack Jones gets a handball away. Mealy's kick is very high into the pocket. Stokes needs to judge the fall of this. He can't. Del Santos' fist comes over the top. Running through right, he tried to pick it up. Clark now gets a handball back into the corridor. Rolling around, tackled and slipped as he got rid of it there with the Buffaloes forward. Gee, they just can't get enough space to get a kick away in that forward 50. Very good pressure from the Wanderers, and they've earned themselves a free kick.
Yeah, terrific tackle. Looked like he could have easily slid high with that tackle, but held onto the jumper and won himself the free kick as Buffalo's back in again. Oh, here's a goal.
Oh. A little bit of comedy of errors there, Stu, and then that would have been the cherry on top if it went through, but wasn't to be. 3-point lead to the Buffaloes.
The Wanderers really haven't had it forward of centre so far, so just need to link up a bit, get some possession. It's blasted out long again.
Now with Austin, who's shown a few promising signs early, and then Chisholm, he tries to work it forward. There'll be a free kick downfield again, just threw too much on it after he got rid of the ball. Chisholm, one of a couple coming from Central Districts in the SANFL. Taking the kick now will be Blake Mealy. Pushes it to the hot spot. Tap down now, Motlop. Mopping it up, gets it out there to Leggett. Goes to centre half back, or goes for a little switch. Didn't hit the target, but luckily for him, Tyson White was in plenty of space. He goes out wide. That might be Clee with it there. Looking to go back to Tyson White. You'd think those two are key to the Wanderers' performance today. Now inboard he finds Harry Willis. Goes out to Clee on the run again. Dances around his opponent and now held up a little bit. Doesn't really know where to go, so he'll go laterally. And then a big kick. Finally get it into their forward half here, and that one hits grass and rolls out over the boundary line.
Almost as good a result as they could have hoped for then. There was a 1-on-3 in their forward line and not much movement. As we saw, Clee was holding the ball up, waiting for someone to give him something to kick to, but pretty stagnant up forward, and Aaron Motlop should be all over that and try to get his team mobile.
Ball comes in, punch down there from Phillips. Now Coombs gets a handball to Stokes, little 1-2, running off half-back. Coombs will now push it down to half-forward, finds the target by himself. That's very well done. Here comes Aiden Grace, another one of those Sandful boys. He gets to 50, looks for a target inside, bounces off his chest, keeping on running there with Stokes. Who would have thought he has a snap-on goal here? Umpire moves a bit too much, and I think it stayed in play and bounced over for a boundary throw-in.
Gee, I thought that was a lay-down for Jared Stokes then. Just lurking behind the pack, picked it up, but hooked it too far. But yeah, Buffalo's pretty impressive so far in general field play, just haven't been able to put it on the scoreboard.
About 30 metres out from goal, taken out of the ruck and snapped towards, it's gone to the line, but a whistle's been blown. It'll be a free kick to the Wanderers in the half-back line.
I'm not sure what that was about. Dos Santos was going back to take it, but it's coming across to Kaylee Roberts instead.
Kicks it long to this Morris Rioli grandstand side wing in the sun. Stokes takes it half forward, gets through a couple, arm taken there, had to get it on the boot quickly. And now again the Wanderers will try and break through this half-back line, but they're having a lot of trouble from this point here. A little bit of candy sold, if you don't mind. Now he goes up onto the centre wing. Trying to dive through there and almost tackle it onto his opponent was JJ Motlop.
Just put his head down and burrowed through, but got a stoppage. Didn't get penalised for it.
Nearly lucky there. I'm not really sure how you play that one there, but maybe a 0-all draw's not the worst result for anyone. Phillips at the bottom of the pack there. We'll have another ball up. Trying to get his hands on it there. I think it's Austin again in the bottom of the pack there. Blake Mealy it was. So another ball up. Comes back to Luke Atkinson. And we'll have a free kick going to the Wanderers. And it will be in the hands of Keelan Fijo. Few loose players in light blue jumpers is going to make it hard to muster anything from this. He goes down looking for Leggett. Now comes down at check side. Hasn't hit it right at all, and that ball goes out of bounds on the full from William Webb.
Yeah, just got the wrong side of the ball, didn't he? But the first real chance for Wanderers to score there just goes begging, and Darwin will have to reset from the last line of defence.
Here comes Phil Wills. First time we've caught him this year. Assistant coach of the side. Doing so on field. And then the snap on goal will come from Motlop. Last line of defence, Wills there. Just easily takes a second bite of the cherry. Probably could have done it in one grab. Makes sure of it. Now they come out looking for Coombs. Good hands there. Great hands from the bleached Luke Combs.
He's looked good, hasn't he, early? Been busy.
Looks like he's sort of rotating through as a small second ruck. Pushes it down the line now. Finds one player among four. And there's a little bit of a shoulder charge. Not a shoulder charge, but just a errant shoulder going. So a free kick will go to Luke Atkinson here. Gives a handball off to Stokes. Pushes it inside 50 now. Again, couldn't find a target. And that's probably where they've fallen over as well. Getting plenty of opportunities to get inside, but can't pick out a target cleanly. Bradley Stokes will push it along now. He finds Riley Coombs into the pocket. He's looking, there's a man by himself there, and he finds him. So Nicholas Lehman from Williston in the Barossa League could line up for the first goal of the game as we get a little bit too close to quarter time for first goal, Stu.
Yeah, almost 16 minutes gone first quarter. So Lehman, part of the Williston side that lost their grand final. But it's a difficult kick, pretty much kicking straight into the teeth of the breeze as well. Deep in that right forward pocket.
Comes in and kicks it.
Oh, wow. Pretty good effort. Goal umpire hardly moved at all, but just missed to the left.
Leggett will take it and look to move pretty quickly. Try and get them on the counter-attack here. Coombs makes some work for it, and Clee just couldn't take possession over for a boundary throw.
Yeah, just waited for the bounce, didn't he? Probably could have just about got there to take the mark. But, take your chances when you let this Australian rules football bounce instead of attacking it.
Umpire will bring it back, and there'll be a hold going against the Buffaloes. Clee now goes looking for a runner in the middle. Had to be good, and it was. Gets her hands off pretty quickly. Now here comes Arthur. Approaching 50 inside, steadies himself, and now kicks towards goal. That one has gone wide as well. So Wanderers get their first score on the board, and it's not a goal. We're still waiting for that first one to come through.
Yeah, better movement forward though by Wanderers. Got that free kick and quickly got it into the corridor and had runners through there, so it was a better build up by them.
Pushing it out wide and looking to rebound very quickly. And on that far side, just a little poke to the top of the 50, looking for Gooey. Now Stokes, he snaps inside the forward 50. He finds a target, and can Luke Atkinson put through the first goal of the game?
Luke Atkinson, grandson of the Buffaloes president, Brenda Atkinson. I was speaking to her before the game. She's keen for us to give that shout out. But yeah, looks a likely type.
A little bit too high, falls short. No one marked it, and it goes through. So Leighton Chisholm from Central Districts, one of their supposed big boom recruits, he's kicked the first goal of the day. Goal umpire, they're just conferring, making sure there was nothing seen. Umpire gives all clear, and it is a goal.
I'm not sure why they needed the conference there. It looked pretty straightforward. But anyway, it's Buffaloes probably deservedly with the first goal on the board. They've had the majority of the play and the field position, but a goal at last as we tick down towards time on in this first quarter.
Buffalo's looking a lot cleaner, with a lot more structure in their game at this stage than the Wanderers, and particularly I guess the only places we've said they've been held up is finding a target inside the forward 50, but at least they're getting it there. Wanderers have really only had 1 or 2 opportunities, and those haven't been fruitful. I will have another ball up.
Jabaston Priest back into the Wanderers side. He's only played a few games over the last few years. He's almost veteran stage now, but they'd love to get some continuity out of him, I would think. Gives a terrific option in the ruck. Buffaloes get the clearance from Priest's hit out. But Wanderers turn it over, and again, straight down the throat of Bradley Stokes, and they build round the outer side to Phillip Wills.
Wills goes laterally, finds Roberts. Now to Jack Austin. Turns it over again. Comes out, finds Kaylee Roberts by himself. He goes for a quick one over the top to Thompson. Maybe a little bit nervous there, as he could sense the approaching spry. Gets it to a runner in Wirchin. Inside 50 he goes, not a good kick. But Priest tried to rub it down. I think he was stripped of it, and almost seems a little bit bewildered as to how that happened. But good work there from Atkinson. He goes to Stokes and looking to switch pretty quickly. Big long kick there. Not a good one, maybe too long, as Leggett intercepts, and it's another really poor entry inside the forward 50. Buffaloes don't have to work too hard to mock that up. Wills goes out wide looking for Clark, kept it alive. Maybe he should have taken it over. Was met with a big strong Leggett. Clark will have another attempt, sells a bit of candy. Looks to go back to Wills, those two raking up the possessions in the last few minutes. Now Humphrey goes to Roberts, and it's intercepted. Good pressure from the Wanderers. Now inside 50 they go. Can they get a mark? That was looking most likely, and there'll be a free kick for high contact there, and they'll look to come out this near side. Stokes now across. He finds Coombs. Pushes it to the man going towards the boundary line there, to Sean Wright. And relatively short quarter, though there was only the 1 goal scored. And it's the Buffaloes with the lead, Stu Davis.
Yeah, that's right. Just the 1 goal, so that's why the short quarter. I'm sure they're pretty happy about that, given the weather conditions. But Buffaloes hold a 9-point lead, but really have had enough of the football to perhaps have expected to hold a bigger lead at quarter time. And yeah, you saw Leggett a couple of times just tried to drill some of those passes rather than just give him a bit of air and give his teammates a chance to run onto him. But they're all things that Aaron Motlop, the Wanderers coach, will talk about at quarter time, I'm sure. But we've certainly got a contest on our hands, and at quarter time it's the Buffaloes 1-4-10 leading Wanderers just the one behind. We'll be back with the second quarter shortly.
We're for being in it together. Like Danny's team. She'll be captain next year.
For real?
For real! Or like this couple, celebrating their anniversary.
29 years today.
30?
Whoops, awkward. Well, congrats either way. And Sarah. She loves walking at East Point every Saturday with her besties.
Keep up.
I'm trying, Sarah. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston, where you're always welcome. Our cafe is the perfect place to unwind while the kids let loose in our fully supervised kids club. From our weekly lunch deals to nightly dinner specials, great steak, schnitzels, all your favourite pub classics and modern Asian cuisine. A great selection of drinks, tasty meals, a bit of friendly competition and the best sport. Kazali's has got you sorted. Check out what's happening at kazalisnt.com.au.
You know Territorians are a hardy bunch.
Hats off to you. Whether you're new or you've been here forever, we know what the weather can throw at us. That's why TIO Home Insurance covers your home for cyclone, storm surge and flood. It's good to know. And with the only contact centre, claims team and assessors based in the Territory,
We're here when you need us most.
TIO, we're for Territorians.
Top End Footy is back
It's fast, tough and a pure display of territory passion. From the heat of the day to the electricity of the night games, every clash is fierce, each moment better than the last.
Goal! They're into front!
This is our game, our way, top-end footy. Nothing comes close.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium for this round one clash of the 2025-26 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League season here at TIO Stadium in Darwin, as we said. Wanderers versus Darwin, and Darwin had pretty much the better of the first quarter, but just couldn't capitalise.
Yeah, they did. Both sides, it's fair to say, still dusting off the cobwebs there. 1 goal, 4-10 to the Buffaloes, just one behind to the Wanderers. The structures definitely look stronger for the Buffaloes, but they did struggle finding a target inside 50. So too did the Wanderers. Interesting to see who they'll be lining up in this second quarter going forward, but they probably need to worry more about getting it to the top of the 50 before they worry about scoring. That was where they sort of fell down. Couldn't get it past halfway for much of that quarter. Flags blowing strongly to the right of the screen here as we're underway in the second quarter here. Tapped down there by Phillips for the Wanderers. Now back to Clee. He'll take a bounce in the middle, then get a handball out to the runner on that far side. We'll keep going to Leggett. Now he goes inside 50. Spills through the hands of the Buffaloes player. Now they go out wide. And he finds Luke Atkinson, who nearly kicked a goal in that first quarter. I think it ended up setting up the first of the day. Now with Stokes. He pushes forward and finds a target in the middle of the ground, looking to move it quickly. This is a lot more streamlined. Although Spry, he fumbled it a little bit. Inside 50 they go. That's a beautiful kick onto a lead there. And mark taken by Luca Gui.
Gee, they had players out everywhere, didn't they, the Buffaloes? And Wanderers players just standing and watching, really, in the middle of the ground. And then once the ball got inside forward 50 again, there was plenty of options to go to. And Gui's the one on the end of it.
Oh, gee, that's a well-wide kick. Lucky to register a score, but he gets through for one.
That just looking at the flags over by the old scoreboard, the breeze is almost straight down the ground to the airport end that Buffaloes are kicking to in this quarter.
Stokes, he picks it up, forces the turnover, now goes again inside 50. That's a better kick. Gui almost held without it. He gets a soccer off, but I think he's going to be paid the free kick for a hole, and that's well and truly there.
Yeah, definite free kick there. It's just a matter of whether the kick off the ground dribbled through to take the advantage, but he'll come back and have a set shot a bit closer in this time. And good chance to put Buffalo's second goal on the board.
So Gui from East Point in Ballarat. There's a couple of East Point boys out there as well today. Line up for his first goal in double blue colours here in the territory. Relatively casual, too casual in fact. Couldn't put it through.
Just about 2 steps, wasn't it? And missed to the left this time, having missed to the right a minute or so ago. So he's still shaking his head as he runs back to take up a defensive position. So might have the little man in the head now. A couple of misses.
1 goal, 6 they've kicked, and they might have another opportunity to make amends soon. That was an awful kick out, Stu.
Yeah, there was no one there. It just straight over the boundary line. It was almost like a rugby touch finder.
Senior head in Jackson Clark just going to the hot spot. Clears the pack. Too many blue and gold jumpers there, and another behind. Oh, another awful kick out, and Buffaloes look certain to make them pay here. Great attack on the ball. I think it might have been Kalen Russell there. No, it's Deshaun Wright.
Deshaun Wright, yeah. So, gee, the weighted number of shots at goal. I've got to start converting soon.
Sean Wright's had a few good glimpses today. His first real look at the goals coming up now. Ooh, the wind trying to carry it back. It is very strong, but through for yet another behind. 1 goal and 9 the total tally for today's match.
Yeah, that's right. And of course, 1 goal later from to Buffaloes. They've had plenty of chances, and sometimes you only get so many in a game. Oh, good work.
Again, Wanderers just can't get it out of their defensive 50 almost at this stage. To the hot spot, that's better. is this an opportunity? It nearly was, but Cody Leggett doing his bit as the last man of defence. 1-9 they move to a 14-point margin. Pokes it out, finds a target, but he can't mark it and just touches it as it goes over the boundary line. Keelan Fiji not happy with that. Leggett made him work a bit too hard there. Absolutely. It was a pretty good effort in the end to prevent it going out of bounds on the full. It's unusual to see a leading player throw the fist at it, but that's all he had to do, all he could do. Clee driven into the ground. Trying to wrap up there was Billy Shanks. Ball nearly pops out. And Buffalo's play there in Cal Hutchison, a little bit cheeky, trying to take it away, but lucky he didn't kick it because he would have given away 50-metre penalties. Shanks earned himself the free kick there. McRae told to move, pushes it down to the wing. Mark not taken there by William Webb. And now Leggett gets it inboard. He finds Wirchin, forced to dance around a little bit, goes out wide again. Wanderers have got nothing up forward that's really striking their fancy, so they'll kick it wide, and that one is very wide. Bounces over the fence. Gives them time to set up, I guess, but they're really struggling to get anywhere past that sort of defensive 70-metre line, aren't they, Stu? Yeah, they just look stationary all over the ground. They just haven't got anyone with run in their legs to give them options, and defensively as well. Buffs are just working their way around them pretty easily for the most part. Another loose in the middle of the ground and another one here, so Buffs are spreading better and better set up as the long kick comes in, and again coming in late to spoil was White, but really gave his opponent plenty of room there, and eventually it's a boundary throw in the forward pocket. So Buffalo's probably with the biggest opportunity to try and break this game open, maybe get on a run. Good muscle there from Grace. He snaps out of the ruck contest and through for a goal. Yeah, good goal. Is another conference here to see if it is a goal, but yeah, Aiden Grace, an unlikely looking ruckman, but he did that well, used his body well, and got it over the back, and a good snapshot goal. So he's played the majority of the game deep forward, and as Will, you said earlier, Will, he's a league footballer in South Australia, Central District, even played in the South Australian state side this year, so obviously a talented player, and a bit surprised that we haven't seen him around the ball a bit more, but maybe that's his go as permanent forward. Yeah, 269 games and 450 goals, so expect to see him up in that forward line for much of the year. 451 goals now. One for the Buffaloes. Back in the middle now, tap down. Kaylee Roberts doing the work there for Muck Mucks. Cody Leggett, probably the most ferocious of the Wanderers players at the moment. As you said, part of the coaching group at the Wanderers Football Club this year. Arthur, toe pokes it forward, now waiting for Thompson to release. Umpire calls for a ball up. Yeah, pretty scrappy at the moment. Wanderers not getting much clear ball and players in space at all. As Buffs break again. Oh, and again, just too much space, too much room given by the Wanderers defenders. Gee, I thought that kick was going straight to a Wanderers defender, but Atkinson has timed his run perfectly. Good, strong lead there. He's, as you said, he's a youngster who's coming up, but he's looking very likely, Stu. Yeah. I like the look of him. He's got a spare just out
to his right here, but he's backing himself.
A few shots. That one he's put a little bit too much on it. Wind didn't help him out that time.
So another behind to Buffalo's 2 goals 10 for the match as we approach the halfway mark of this second quarter, and Wanderers still just the one behind on the board. It's a better kick from Leggett. A push there, I think that's going to be paid. So Fijo will take the free kick at half back, but this is the one that they've struggled with, finding someone coming out. So he goes backwards and inboard instead as they perhaps look to switch, but Dos Santos has got other ideas and goes long down the line instead. I think the wind's got hold of that and drifted it over the boundary line. So again, no connection coming out of defence from Wanderers.
I guess on the bright side for the Wanderers, their opponents haven't been able to punish them. They're only really 2 goals away from being right back in this, and even in a commanding position if they can get them quick enough. Oh, gee, that's cleared the pack, but bounces off the chest of Grace and rolls over the boundary line.
Yeah, an opportunity there, lost. Grace in a bit of space there. Just spilt the mark off the chest. Of course, there's been very foreign conditions to him and a number of the players out there today, coming off a southern winter and playing your first game in the NTFL at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's a big call.
Leggett just wills his way through there, and while Phillip wills there to spoil and reload, Clark puts it inside 50. It's very wide to the boundary line, nearly getting to it was Grace, got a hand to it and it spills over the boundary line.
It's over the fence. One of the players is going to have to go and get it. And reluctantly, Matthew Motlop is the one.
Just wanting to save the petrol tickets, Stu.
Yeah, I don't think he was very impressed that Grace just walked away from it and left him to do it.
Tap down there from Webb, from Roberts it was. And again, another boundary throw in. Umpires call that deliberate. So it will go to Cody Leggett. Again, it's probably the one who looks like he could cause some damage for Wanderers, but the problem is he's got no one really showing him any signs of helping him out, no one to kick to, and just as you see there, the Buffaloes turn it over relatively easily. They now pushed out wide. That's a beautiful kick, and again, a beautiful lead from Grace. He plays on inside 50, looking for his captain in Stokes. Great piece of play there from the Buffaloes.
Yeah, terrific build up there, but Leggett that time coming out of defence, hit the target, but the mark was spilt, and Buffaloes had the numbers to pounce on it and then work it across field, and Jared Stokes, if he's not killing you through the midfield, he's always busy in the forward half, and got on the end of that one. And gee, we'd back to kick this, wouldn't we, Will?
Surely. Stokes through the middle for the third of the day, the third for the Buffaloes, and they extend the lead out now to 27 points.
Yeah, no doubt once it's in the hands of Jared Stokes. Quality player, quality finisher, and he jogs back into the midfield to take up his position. But yeah, Wanderers have been disappointing so far in the game. Just no connection. So he tried to move the ball, and as we see on the scoreboard, just the one scoring shot for a behind. And yeah, I don't know if they need positional changes or attitude changes, but they just need to get their hands on the ball a bit more and start working together a bit better.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's enough players out there in blue and gold jumpers saying that they want to even be there. It's really Cody Leggett almost playing a sole role. He needs someone to help him out, provide some support, provide some options for him. A few others are doing their role, you should say, but he seems like the one who's really putting some force and effort into it. Now, Wirchin, he goes back to JJ. Motlop pushes it to high half forward. Stokes gives it off to Wills, gets away from his opponent, just the nick of time, then to Spry, now through Coombs, back to Spry, couldn't take it cleanly, but paddles it ahead to Sean Wright. I think he tried to feign it was still alive, but the umpires read straight through that and said, no, it's a boundary throw-in.
I thought Sean Wright was standing on the interchange gate, but got himself involved.
I've only got 3 down there, one must be in the cool room.
Well, that makes sense.
Ball pops out now. Over the top, Werchin picks it up. Try to get to a run, but there's a whistle blown. It will be a free of the Wanderers. Advantage wasn't called. Clee will have a chance here.
No, I think it's the ruckman. It was just a jumper grab in the ruck, so Javaston Priest at B. Gives it off to Matthew Motlop. Goes long, but again, it's a bomb to a pack of players, and Buffalo's better organised around the pack. Work it out. So they don't mind looping it around, and they do work it out. And now they've got a one-on-one deep forward. So this, oh, that's a terrific tackle. But the support comes in now, and Buffalo's still trying to work it forward and eventually win themselves a holding free kick here. It's going to come back to Grace, and player on the mark, Leggett, is right on the 50-metre line. So Grace having a look around. Its kick will be assisted by the wind as it goes towards goal if he chooses that option.
For a long way out, geez, try to use every little bit of the wind there. It's kept alive. Everyone seemed to stand still though. I don't think anyone really wanted to keep it in play. Now on that last line, Henry White, he pushes it out wide, very wide, but they keep it in.
Nope.
Turnover. Pushed inside. Stokes takes another mark inside 50.
Yeah, you would, if you're a Wanderers defender, you would have to think, well, they're bringing it in quickly, and Jared Stokes is around the place. He is surely the main target, and just got out in front, takes another mark on the lead.
Already kicked one today. Perennially in the Nichols medal conversation, regardless of where his team plays, and it's things like that which put him there, though that one's just 3 for behind.
Yeah, he's been a very consistent player for a very long time, and he's captain of the Buffaloes for a number of years now. He's an inspirational player for them, heart and soul player for Darwin Buffaloes. Strong family connections, of course.
Pushed out wide. Tried to keep alive there by Motlop. Now he pushes it down the line. Didn't really know who he was looking for in particular there. And very tight, and almost dumped after he'd taken over was Jack Austin. We'll have a boundary throw in though.
Yeah, you see again there the Wanderers players looking at each other, wondering who's going to go for the ball, and Buffalo's far more positive in their attack on the ball.
Goes now. Coombs doing the roving this time. Comes out to right. Inside 50 he goes, but couldn't find a target. The mark wasn't taken there by Fuller. Needs to be careful he didn't give away a free kick. Now paddles it forward. Dos Santos, he overruns it as well. Now having another scrap at it. Umpire will call for a ball up inside 50, and they're having a little crack there, aren't they? Nicholas Lehman and I think it's, was it Werchin there? Comes down, tackled without it. It's going to be a hold to the Wanderers. Advantage paid. White, he has to push it out wide now. Couldn't find his player, Harry Willis, cleanly. So it's turned over. Buffalo's just work back. Try to make sure of something here. Didn't think that was a good kick, but it's hit the target very well there. Kalen Russell with it. Outside 50, pokes it to the hot spot. Oh, Grace nearly had his head taken off. He'll get the free kick.
Yeah, Henry White really aggressive that time in trying to spoil, but just made the contact in the effort and Aidan Grace really starting to get involved in this game now as a busy forward for Darwin. We'll have a set shot. Has one goal already earlier in the quarter. As clock ticks towards the time on period in this second quarter.
Gee, that's not a good kick. He's looked okay, Grace. He's looks the most likely forward on the ground, but he's only got the one goal to show for it, and I think he's probably had about 4 opportunities.
Yeah, a little bit frustrated with himself after that kick. He's in the action again here.
Deshaun Wright trying to pick it up, fumbles it and goes over the boundary line as we hit the 20-minute mark. You're watching TIO's coverage of the NTFL 2025-26 season. Would you believe that 2 goals 8 the Darwin Buffaloes have added so far, Stu?
Yeah, they've had heaps of opportunities, and Wanderers just holding on for dear life at the moment. But it's hard to imagine where the change is going to come to get them on top in this game.
Haven't even looked like moving it inside their forward half this quarter. Motlop, he kicks it high. Whistle blown. Will be a free kick to the Wanderers. And the other concern is it's not like they're playing against the reigning premiers or another finalist. This is the team who at one stage looked like they weren't going to win a game last year. Inside 50 the Wanderers go. Wills, he rolls around, then pushes out. Finds right on that far side. He turns and goes into the middle. Looking for Humphrey, and he's wrapped up. Concedes the free. Tyson White here. Turns it over. Phil Wills just putting in too much effort there and finds himself with the ball in hand.
Yeah, just a bit too long for the target. He was looking for Clee there, but got over his head, and Phil Wills read it beautifully. And happy just to slow it down in the back half at the moment. Stokes sees something he likes laterally, and it's a good pass. Finding Luke Roberts, and they're off again. With Siren just beats them. And 2 Wanderers players collide as well to rub salt into the wound. But yeah, another quarter dominated by Darwin Buffaloes. Wanderers failing to score in that quarter, and their halftime score is just the one behind. And on the other hand, Darwin have had 15 scoring shots, but only able to convert for 3 majors. So it's the game is all in Darwin's hands, Will, but could have been a lot worse for Wanderers at this stage.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse, should have been a lot worse, but they really need to find some changes in this halftime break because they're not even looking like scoring at the moment. And as I said, it's not really a formidable opponent that we know of yet. It's a team who finished well down the bottom with them last year. So it will be interesting to see what they can bring us after this halftime break.
We're for being in it together. Like Danny's team. She'll be captain next year.
For real?
For real! Or like this couple, celebrating their anniversary.
29 years today.
30?
Whoops, awkward. Well, congrats either way. And Sarah. She loves walking at East Point every Saturday with her besties.
Keep up.
I'm trying, Sarah. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston, where you're always welcome. Our cafe is the perfect place to unwind while the kids let loose in our fully supervised kids club. From our weekly lunch deals to nightly dinner specials, great steak, schnitzels, all your favourite pub classics and modern Asian cuisine. A great selection of drinks, tasty meals, a bit of friendly competition and the best sport. Kazali's has got you sorted. Check out what's happening at kazalisnt.com.au.
You know Territorians are a hardy bunch.
Hats off to you. Whether you're new or you've been here forever, we know what the weather can throw at us. That's why TIO Home Insurance covers your home for cyclone, storm surge and flood. It's good to know. And with the only contact centre, claims team and assessors based in the Territory,
We're here when you need us most.
TIO, we're for Territorians.
Top End footy is back. It's fast, tough and a pure display of Territory passion. From the heat of the day to the electricity of the night games, every clash is fierce. Each moment better than the last.
Goal! They're into front!
This is our game, our way. Top End footy. Nothing comes close.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium in Darwin for the continuation of this round one clash between Wanderers and the Darwin Buffaloes. My name's Stu Davis. With me today is Will Zwar, and we've seen a first half that's been dominated in field play by Darwin Buffaloes, and their score of 3 goals 12, as it suggests, shows that they could have had a much bigger lead over Wanderers, who've just managed the one behind so far. So a really important game for both sides to kickstart their season, you would think, Will, but it's Buffaloes with all the running at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been pretty tough watching if you're a Wanderers fan. Just the 1 point in the first half of this game, and you wonder where their scoring is going to come from as we get underway now. Looks like the Buffaloes have gotten the first hit out of this third quarter. Right on the wing, got them back to Stokes. Nearly a hold there going against Willis, but the umpire didn't pay it. He does now. So we'll come to Stokes. Rolls round. Inside 50 he goes. Comes off hands. Dos Santos pushes it out wide to Motlop, Matthew Motlop. He now goes down the line. And it'll be a free kick going to the Wanderers. Clee pushes it back. Now with Wirchin. Didn't know what to go to. He now finds Willis. Although he doesn't quite find him cleanly, in another dispute on the ground. Ping for holding the ball. It will be a Wanderers free kick to Willis. Probably got a bit lucky there, Stu.
Yeah, well, they need some luck going their way, but they need more than that. They need some energy as well, and Matthew Motlop offers the lead and gets rewarded with it. Going very short here, but at least they're keeping possession of the ball, because in the first half they bombed along to packs regularly, so this is a better build-up now. But again, Buffs have got numbers back, haven't they? Look at that, they've got 5 of them around the ball to 2 or 3 Wanderers players. So just as we've been saying all day, looked much better organised, but Cody Leggett just clapping hands with a couple of players there that obviously recognises that was a bit better build-up for Wanderers.
Yeah, and I think the key there as well, they went to a target on a lead. Yes, he had 5 players around him, but it looked like there was a plan in order. Comes in now. I think Arthur nearly tried to hack it out of mid-air there. Wasn't to be. Atkinson tackled as he got rid of it. Gets it down the line. Leggett takes the mark in front. I think he's got a decent boot on him. Doesn't look like he's going to go for it at all. Or maybe he is. He's just pointed to the goals.
He's got that wind in his favour, so...
Ooh, good effort on it. Had the distance, but just a little bit too much push behind the wind meant it didn't get across as much as he needed it to.
Yeah, but Darwin have broken here with numbers running on the outer side at half-back, and Jared Stokes does it beautifully, finding Coombs out on the wing.
Now into Hutchison, to Jack Austin it is. He finds Hutchison here. Good mark inside 50 there on the lead, and this will be Nicholas Lehman.
Yeah, it is, and that was all a bit too easy, wasn't it? Once the behind was kicked, the Darwin players were awake and broke on the outer side and really had no Wanderers players going with them, and they worked it down the ground pretty easily to give themselves a set shot at goal.
So in comes Lehman, hoping to change the accuracy of the Buffs so far in this game, and it's a good kick. He started off with a goal, and they extend the lead out now to 34 points.
That was a terrific kick into the breeze that's there, kicking from about 50, but made solid contact, and yeah, he's a player that's going to be useful to the Darwin Buffaloes this year. And after Wanderers came out after half-time looking like they'd had a bit of an injection of energy, you know, Buffaloes controlled the ball from that kick in and took it the length of the ground without Wanderers touching it and got a goal on the board. So disappointing from Wanderers, but I'll be back in there now, having another crack.
Phillips nearly took it out of the ruck and then hit the deck. Leggett again just trying to bullock his way through. Umpire will call for high contact. Will go the way of Leggett. Maybe calling for the 50. Umpire didn't like it, instead said play on. Or is that a mark? Finally inside 50, I think it is for the Wanderers, and it will go to Sav O'Connell. He'll probably be kicking it outside the paint when he gets onto it.
Gee, that's the player on the mark is where he first touched the ball. I reckon he completed it out near the 50-metre line, so he's been given a couple of metres here.
O'Connell's first real look at it today. Bit of pressure on this kick. If anything, just to show a bit of fight in the muck-mucks.
Looks good. It is good, and he set that one up, used the breeze perfectly and easily made the distance, and a good-looking kick. And you can hear that their crowd want to get involved, and it's really the first opportunity they've had to be able to do so. But that's a good answering goal from Wanderers, and Leggett in the middle again, although he looked like he was trying to do it all himself. Hasn't had a lot of support today. Got the free kick and then used it nicely, and O'Connell out in front took the juggling mark in the contest, and so that was much better from Wanderers.
Oddly, it doesn't seem like they're out of the game thanks to that goal. They're still 28 points down, but 1 goal 2 to 4 goals 12. It's certainly well within their reach. Ball punched down now. Thompson, he will run out. You'd think of the centre square. Can they build something from here? Not a good kick. In the pocket, hits grass. Trying to run to it. Oh, just kept it alive there. I think that's maybe young Atkinson. No, it comes out and finds right on the mark. So Wanderers burst out of the middle there, but they needed to be a bit more clean.
Yeah, Dre Thompson had the goal open in front of him. He should have looked like he was in two minds. Geez, that's a dangerous.
Here comes Wirchin trying to win it over. And now Keelan Fijo, he'll be first to it here. You'd think needs to work well with his teammate there in Priest. And they didn't really. Oh, he's probably a little bit stiff there. I don't think he intended to kick it out that way, but the umpire's called deliberate.
Well, I suppose if it's insufficient intent, that's probably fair enough. He made pretty solid contact with it going over the line. Don't often pay him deep in the forward line though.
Spry with the mark, he'll give it to a runner, and here comes Austin. Well, that's a very well weighted kick. Just found the easy side there for right. He'll give it to Austin, who kept running. He's shown some good glimpses today. Inside 50, he goes. They're going to try and go coast to coast. Aiden Grace probably muscled out a little bit too easily there. Then gives it off to Coombs. Now comes back here and trying to run around. I think that's Lehman again. It is. He'll go back to Coombs. Outside 50 is where he's been taken. Darts it in ball. That's very well done. And a shot on goal will come. Oh, he just completely misread the wind there. But that was building to something, Stu.
Yeah, it was. Just laid the ball across the boot there and just got too much on it. But, gee, had some space running through the middle, didn't he, Caelan Russell? But smart play to switch the ball. And now Leggett under a bit of pressure, but good enough to get out of it and uses the ball nicely, finding Tyson White in the opposite back pocket. But again, they look like they're clogged up here with not a lot of options, and goes down the line, but just picked out his opponent in Coombs, Luke Coombs.
Wheels around. Goes to the hot spot. That's exactly where you want to place it. Comes out the back. Here comes Grace. He kicks his second of the day. He's shown a lot of promise as well, Aiden Grace, and good to see reward for effort there.
Yeah, just well positioned out the back of the pack. The young Wanderers player, Shanks I think it was, got his hands to the ball, couldn't hold on to the mark, and it slipped out the back, and Grace just sitting there, the opportunist, gets himself another goal.
So that takes it out now to 35 points. And it will be tough from there. Wanderers, you'd think they're going to get a few more goals on the board from here, but can they really do enough to put themselves in a winning position? Time will tell. Tap down Leggett. He gets it over the top. Now running through. This is Wirchin again. He goes to the top of the square. Has that cleared the hands? No, umpires straight away said that one's touched through for a behind.
Yeah, I think it probably missed to the left-hand side as well, but just didn't really make clean contact with the ball running in, but a good centre clearance and a good forward entry.
Buffaloes, they won't get a mark there, but they hold possession as they're rebounding. Pushing it inboard. Mark wasn't taken there by Chisholm. Trying to do a little fend off there, Blake Mealy. And then Gooey sold a little bit of candy as well, I think. Now Jack Jones into Stokes inside the forward 50, looking for a lead. Grace couldn't take the mark. Umpire calls play on, and again, just bounced off it. Wanderers find a loose man out there on the goal line, and they'll come out this near side, though he doesn't have a lot to go to. He'll have to go long. It was a good kick in the end. Mark wasn't taken. They were a little bit too much on it there for Rice. And now Coombs, he goes in, finds Humphrey. Almost used the deck there to assist him, but I think he's taken it cleanly enough. He'll roll around now, winds up, pushes it into the hot spot, and a good defensive mark here. I think that's gone to Fuller. Come out now to Wirchin. Motlop. Oh, nearly taken it out of bounds there, and I think he has. He's being pressured a little bit.
Yeah, all of his exits were covered, I think, so probably a smart move in the end just to step over the line.
Must have had a little rev up at half-time. The Wanderers, they do look a little bit more hungry for it here. Motlop spins out, gets a handball away, whistle blown, high contact, will be brought back. Pushes it down the line. Now McRae, he goes wide.
It's better build up from Wanderers.
Keeping possession. Looks like there's more movement ahead as well. But now in their back line, there's a lot of light blue jumpers just sort of floating about. It's gone a full forward looking for Priest.
Yeah.
Good mark.
Yeah, got a good piece of that. Just worked his way to the front. He was stuck behind, just got around and in front and took a strong mark. So, Jabaston Priest, a big fella. Be good to see him finish from here.
Pedestrian at best, that one as well. A few of those attempts today that have just done absolutely nothing. And not the intent that you want to see from the coach's box at all. Buffaloes will rebound pretty easily here, you'd think, and they're going to try and go coastal again. Hutchison with the mark. Had Spry very tight if he wanted him. Instead, he'll go down the line. Atkinson will have to run onto that, but it bounces well for him. Almost tackled instantly by Arthur. Now pulling through is Jack Jones. Has a shot on goal. Will that go through? It will. Buffalo's finally starting to pull away.
Yeah, that's right. Perhaps a bit lucky to get away with the ball spilling out in the tackle. Probably had prior opportunity to get rid of it, but they pounced on it. Jones, I thought he might have got a bit of body contact to upset his kick, but held his nerve and kicked truly on the run. So a good finish from him. We haven't called his name much, but gets himself in the game with a goal. you just see that shot on goal from Javaston Priest. It was a terrible kick, of course, but there was no Wanderers players between him and the goal line, and about 3 Buffaloes players when it fell short, and they just took it away easily.
And looks like Dylan Dos Santos is down the rooms after a potential shoulder injury, so we'll keep an eye on that for you.
So stoppage again in the middle of the ground. No one really got their hand to the ball as just trying to work across there. Wanderers couldn't get it through their hands. It comes to Jones again. This time he delivers on the left foot. That's a beautiful pass, and out in space, out in front. Once again for Darwin was Aiden Grace, and just took the mark on the chest and had that couple of metres space, and the kick from Jones was terrific. So a couple of good involvements from Jones in the last 2 minutes or so, and Buffs with an opportunity to really kick away here.
Grace has looked likely as well. He's looked a little bit flashy at times. Maybe he does some good things. Maybe he doesn't do some good things. Lining up here for number 3. And that's maybe one of those not so good things there. Almost counted his chickens before they'd hatched.
Yeah, just doesn't look really fluid in his approach to the set shot. So something to work on during the week, I think. But makes good position and gives them something to go to going forward.
Leggett on the back line. Now pushing into the middle of the ground. Dre Thompson had to stop and pivot. Rolls back around. Now looks to cross, or it needs to be clean here. Priest takes the mark a long way from home. We'll keep going to the run of Thompson. Just toes it out in front of himself. He's got support inboard if he wants it. Went there circumstantially anyway, and Thompson now having to fight for it. I think that's White there, gets it. Fijo back outside 50. Now with Shanks. Inside 50 he goes, but there's been a whistle blown and it'll be brought back. Let's see how the Wanderers set up here, because I think Leggett's shot, which was from outside 50, and Priest, as you said before, no one really set up for, you know, the potential of a behind, for even a setup instead of a shot on goal if it fell short or if it missed like it did. Again here, they're sort of just there. They're not really, there doesn't seem to be any order to it.
Yeah, Buffaloes have pushed back in numbers.
Goes along to the hot spot. Spills off hands, and Coombs will mop it up and go for a little run on this near side now. Second bounce. Outside 50 he goes now. That's a very good kick to Grace. Just tells him to settle it down a little bit here. Approaching the 20-minute mark of this third quarter. Goes inboard to Clark. Now he goes to the run of Hutchison. Pushes it out wide looking for Gooey. Good lead there in the end. Oh, nearly run down. No talk from his teammate. And that's unfortunate for Gooey, because it was looking like a decent passage of play, and Wanderers now on the return serve through Shanks. He gets a handball away. Thought that was going to spill out, but keeps it alive. Misfired handball as well. Not helping themselves. Almost their own worst enemy as Will goes to Clark, and now goes back forward in there now with Neely. Almost held without it. Roberts as well trying to get involved, gets a handball forward into space. Hutchison gets a handball again forward now. Chisholm inside 50 he goes, a bit too much on it. Atkinson will have to run onto it, picks it up, tries to get around his opponent, gets a handball away. Now Russell, he spills over the boundary line, ball stays in play, and we'll have a ball up in the forward pocket.
Yeah, you saw in that passage that Cody Leggett just throwing everything at it, and his teammates were standing around watching him basically, so just needed more support.
Russell, he'll have a snap to the scores, but it's gone through for a point. Not enough on it there, and looks like Dylan Dos Santos is about to come back on the ground, so luckily for the Wanderers, nothing too serious there.
So Wanderers to bring the ball in. Took a long time to open up, but it did eventually, and now they've got a chance to run through the middle of the ground. And runs onto it. He has a bounce. He's going to get chased down here by Clark. Oh, he's run a long way. Got the hand pass off. Fijo with a chance. Straightens up. Kicks towards goal. And it's bounced. Has it bounced inside that goalpost? I think it has. So tried his hardest to hit the goalpost by the looks of it, but that was a good passage of play from Wanderers straight down the ground and finished off by Fijo. Just sneaking it in on the bounce inside that right-hand goalpost.
Again, you just wonder about the intent there. I think Werchen, you look at him against Clark, we know Clark's a good runner, but Werchen just didn't seem to be putting on any sort of jets at all. Nearly got ran down in the end, had to give it off to his teammate. They did get a goal for their efforts, but they need to improve that if they're to stand a chance in a lot of games this year.
So that's a couple of goals in the quarter for Wanderers. Darwin have kicked 3, of course. We're just into time on in this third quarter of TIO NTFL action in round 1. I think we're all sorted now and back underway. Chris Atkinson doing the ruck work for Darwin.
Handball comes out from Werchen to Leggett. He now launches forward inside 50. Good fist in there from Austin. And then Wills out to Spry. He gets a loopy one over the top. Good pressure from Leggett, but in the end it was a bit too much pressure, and it'll be a free kick going the way there of the Buffaloes. Now to Spry again. It's a handball out over the top, or maybe puts his teammate under pressure there. Humphrey tries to work it back to Stokes. Aaron handball. Stokes just soccers it out in front. Humphrey will pick it up again, and again he'll go to Stokes. Then to Coombs it is. Oh, should have given the handball off. Instead he was met with a tackle. That's good work there from Phillips. He's played relatively well in the ruck today for them, though there haven't been a hell of a lot of centre bounces, have their Stu?
No, that's right. Yeah, plenty of kick-ins though.
On half-back, Fijo kicked that last goal for the Wanderers. And then Clee tried to get the ball forward. He's been a little bit quieter than you would have hoped if you're in the Wanderers camp. If you're in the Buffaloes camp, he's been probably as busy as you'd like on a day like this. Wills, he will rebound out of the defensive 50. Now comes to Mealy, pushes it down the line, looking for Atkinson. Good work there from Dos Santos to nullify the contest, but Atkinson will try and keep it alive. He did for a minute, and then the bounce was unkind and goes out. And he's trying to rugby pass it with relatively strong force back to the umpire, and I think he's hit his opposition in the thigh.
Might have been a bit of intent in that.
Well hidden either way. Phillips tries to get out of there. Coombs got a hand to it, but Wanderers are away. Willis back to White. Now he pushes out to Leggett. He's got pressure coming in from the side. Good work there.
Yeah, Wanderers look to be out on the outer side and just turn back into traffic.
Phillips gets it in front of Atkinson there. Another boundary throw in as we're approaching 23.5 minutes gone in this third quarter. You wouldn't think there's going to be much longer in this one, though. It is the most heavily scoring quarter we've seen so far today. Wanderers, their only 2 goals have come in this term, and the Buffaloes have almost doubled their score. Here comes, that's got to be a high tackle there. There'll be a free kick going to Tyson White. Can they add something else to the scoreboard before the siren comes? They'll need to be pretty quick, you'd think. Pushes it inside the forward 50, looking for Priest. In fact, it's looking for Henry White. Goes beyond the maul. Stokes will pick it up. He'll push it out into the pocket and he finds a player relatively safely in Wills. He'll go to Humphrey, but the siren will beat them, and so it is a, what are we, 36-point margin here at three-quarter time.
Yeah, so 3 goals to 2 in that quarter. A better effort from Wanderers, but Darwin still got a firm grip on this game. But Wanderers in patches had a bit more energy, but a lot of the times they're still very stagnant when they're looking to go forward, and not really giving much in the way of forward options. But Darwin Buffaloes have kept persisting, hit the scoreboard a few times, and I think they'd be pretty happy with the position they hold at three-quarter time. So as we go to the break at three-quarter time, it's the Darwin Buffaloes 51 leading Wanderers 15.
We're for being in it together. Like Danny's team. She'll be captain next year.
For real?
For real! Or like this couple, celebrating their anniversary.
29 years today.
30?
Whoops, awkward. Well, congrats either way. And Sarah. She loves walking at East Point every Saturday with her besties.
Keep up.
I'm trying, Sarah. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston, where you're always welcome. Our cafe is the perfect place to unwind while the kids let loose in our fully supervised kids club. From our weekly lunch deals to nightly dinner specials, great steak, schnitzels, all your favourite pub classics and modern Asian cuisine. A great selection of drinks, tasty meals, a bit of friendly competition and the best sport. Kazali's has got you sorted. Check out what's happening at kazalisnt.com.au.
You know Territorians are a hardy bunch.
Hats off to you. Whether you're new or you've been here forever, we know what the weather can throw at us. That's why TIO Home Insurance covers your home for cyclone, storm surge and flood. It's good to know. And with the only contact centre, claims team and assessors based in the Territory,
We're here when you need us most.
TIO, we're for Territorians.
Top-end footy is back. It's fast, tough and a pure display of Territory passion. From the heat of the day to the electricity of the night games, every clash is fierce. Each moment better than the last.
Goal! They're into front!
This is our game, our way. Top-end footy. Nothing comes close.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium. The players are keen, Will. They're out there in position waiting for the umpires to come out. But yeah, it's the start of the last quarter in this third Men's Premier League match in round one of the 2025-26 TIO NTFL season. And Darwin Buffaloes off to an impressive start to the season so far, holding what's that, a 6-goal lead essentially, and they've looked pretty good, Will.
Yeah, they have. I think we've said a few times already over the few games so far, Stu, that there's a bit of dusting off the cobwebs. That's certainly happened for the Wanderers. For the Buffaloes, I should say. The Wanderers might need a little bit more dusting in the weeks to come. A lot will need to change if they're to flip the result on this one. A 36-point deficit they face at three-quarter time. And just 5 scoring shots to this point. What can they do in this last quarter? They start off with an early clearance by the looks of things, though not cleanly, and then pushing out onto the wing. I think this is going to be Willis here. He gets it back to Clee. Now Charlie Arthur, he pushes it inside the forward 50, goes to grass. Needed to keep in front of him was Roberts, but Thompson, he goes for a little check side. Oh, he gets a very kind bounce, and they do get an early goal.
Terrific. But the best part of that from Thompson, he just body lined the ball, didn't he, as the traffic was coming towards him. Picked it up and on the outside of the boot, just as you said, got the kind bounce and snuck it through. So terrific start to the last quarter from Wanderers. He showed moments again, as he always does, Dre Thompson. Just needs to get more involved for longer periods.
It is hard to read what's going to happen in this last quarter, because they kick a couple, suddenly they're matching the Buffaloes 6 goals apiece, but they've still got to catch up on a further 2 just because of the sheer amount of shots the Buffaloes have had. But they wouldn't want to put the cue in the rack too early, the Double Blues here, as they get a free kick in the middle going to Coombs.
He's looked good. Coombs, his first game for the Buffaloes.
Inside 50 he goes. That's long. Maybe needed a little crummer reading the play there. Dos Santos will push it out into the back pocket. Now he finds Werchin.
He hasn't been Wanderers' worst, that's for sure.
One of the few from Millicent who've crossed over.
Yeah.
About half a dozen or so out there today. That's eventually turned over at a high half forward. Kicks to the top of the square. Toe pokes it out in front. Tries to get it out of the corridor. And I wonder if that's come off a shin. It's just been called a boundary throw-in for no one really inside the forward 50 for the Buffaloes.
Yeah, he talked about that Millicent contingent. It's Willis, Shanks, Werchin and Hamish McRae all in the Wanderers side today.
Toe poked out, and then Grace has a shot. Another interesting shot from him.
It's a free kick,
but it won't matter too much. They'll have another shot.
Yeah, coming back to Grace again, so he gets a chance. He's got a couple already. He's the only multiple, I think, in the game, isn't he, Will?
From my count as well, yes. Yep. Only one with 2, and he has looked very good in their forward line. Just needs to get used to the wind, get used to the conditions. See what he can do here. His approach has been a bit hit and miss as well. Sometimes good, sometimes a little bit. Oh, interesting on the mark there from Dos Santos. See if that plays effect. It won't, as Grace puts through his 3rd.
Yeah, Grace has shown us enough today to suggest that he's going to be an important cog in their forward half. You'd think that in some games that he may have to venture up into the midfield a bit to get some of the football, but they've had the luxury today of being able to leave him forward, and he's presented well a number of times. He's got the 3 goals, as you said. Will probably could have had 5 or 6 today.
Yeah, absolutely. He's definitely adding something that you haven't seen at the Buffaloes for the last couple of years. A bit of flair in their forward line, a bit of X factor. And more importantly, he's putting scoring shots next to their name. Stokes tries to bring it out of the middle, gets to Coombs. Coombs has been really good. Love his work. And back to Stokes, who just kept running as he does. Good run down there. Umpire will let the play continue. Now comes to Humphrey. He'll have a snap from the pocket. A little bit too much on and just behind, but Buffalo's starting to look really good. Maybe they're breaking out of the shackles here. He'll bring it back in through Leggett, who really has been the sole act for the Wanderers today. Out to White in the pocket. Looking down the line for Phillips. There's a good chain building. Willis. Second guesses himself, goes to Clee. Now he goes, centre half back, nearly turned it over. McRae to Dos Santos. He pushes it out wide, looking for Arthur. Good fist in there from Hutchison, and it all amounts to nothing for the Wanderers.
I'll tell you who we haven't seen for some time is Dylan Smiley, Will. Obviously something's happened with him.
Only 2 on the bench for the Buffaloes that we can see. Potentially he's off in the rooms or in the cool room. Atkinson has resumed duties now. He started at full back today and then has been brought up a little bit more. Coombs just slides over in his studs. Leggett kept it alive, pushed it forward into space. Maybe could have used the boundary line. Here's Austin, goes back to Roberts, who'll have to turn back through traffic and dance around Priest. Then gets a handball back to Austin. Whether it was intentional or not, it found the target. Now Hutchison in the middle, it needs to be clean here. Running through is, that's Phil Wills there. Eluding age as well as his opponents there, and now goes back to Spry. He'll go across the ground, and there's been a 50-metre penalty called. I think that's the first one we've seen today. Just encroached over the mark, I think, there.
Wow, that's a decent 50-metre penalty. It's going to bring him within scoring range.
Very big 50.
No one on the mark here, so just some attention to detail from Wanderers needed, and he took full advantage, used up all that space and has kicked long and kicked the goal, so the celebrations come for Spry. Kicks his first goal of the game, but yeah, just a lapse in concentration there from Wanderers. Gave away the 50 and then no one bothered to get on the mark. So after Wanderers scored the first goal of the quarter in the opening minute, basically, Darwin have steadied again and kicked the next couple of goals and resumed their control of the match.
What are we, a 43-point margin, I think we are at this stage.
It's getting big, isn't it? In the opening round. Of course, the first 2 games that we've seen, just a couple of goals in each of those games, but Buffaloes could find themselves on top of the table after round 1.
Foreign territory for them. Still a game to come tomorrow, but so far it's been a good start for them and gives them, the players, the fans, the club, something to look forward to this year. As Leggett bursts out of the middle, he's looking to full forward. O'Connell, in fact it was Phillips, couldn't take the mark. O'Connell there crumbing. Now Phillips with a big strong tackle. Still fighting here. And we'll have a ball up about 20 metres from goal. There goes Phillips.
Yes.
Just hacks it through, and they add another one to the scoreboard. So, like their opponents, the Wanderers are finally giving something to show here, but a little bit too late in the piece to have a meaningful impact.
Yeah, well done, Tyler Phillips. He had the chance before, spilt the mark, but back in the contest there, and he's had a crack all day as well in the ruck and up forward, the big fella. So, yeah, there's another positive for Wanderers out of this game, the form of Tyler Phillips, and gets rewarded with a goal that wasn't sweet off the boot, floated around a bit, but was solid enough to go straight through the middle.
And he's been really good as well. As we said, the first half there wasn't a lot of ruck contests just because there wasn't many goals, and there was a little bit around the ground, but I've really liked his game so far today, Phillips.
Yep.
He's going to stay in the forward line for the minute as the Wanderers move the ball again into their forward line. Here's William Webb, wrapped up, and we'll have another ball up. Taken out there by Atkinson. He just skies it too. I don't know if this will be paid. Umpire says play on. Didn't quite make the distance, and I think there was a fingertip in there as well. Fiji waited for the ball to come to him. Atkinson picks it up, and he's wrapped up too.
Cody Leggett up a bit sore after that marking contest, landed on the tailbone, I think, so he'll be okay though.
Atkinson again picking it up, working it forward. He might have to take a spell soon to prepare for the next game. Coaching the women's team as well this year, Chris Atkinson, a great clubman at the Buffaloes. As Humphrey comes inside now, he was looking for Lehman, but it was intercepted, and the Wanderers get it out of there pretty quickly, and it could be away. Kaylee Roberts should have kept going. Goes to centre half forward and didn't help his teammate at all there. Luke Atkinson it is. He'll try to pick it up, and there'll be a hold. Will go the way of the Buffaloes.
Yeah, it's Atkinson. Just the ball spilled out and then got swung around in the tackle. Was a pretty obvious one, I think. So
coming out this way to Chris Atkinson. Oh, he's juggled it. I don't know if he's taken the mark. Umpire's paid it. Very well done. He's been good today as well. Atkinson off to Spry, who I've liked off half-back too. Inside 50 he goes, and it's a good kick to Grace. Now this one could go anywhere. He's gone to pass off. He's got one of three to pick from. That's a beautiful kick there, and a good mark inside 50 as well. I think this might be Leighton Chisholm as well. He kicked the first goal of the day.
Yeah, as you said, three options in there. Jared Stokes just pulled the hands away, got the call from behind, and yeah, Leighton Chisholm with another set shot opportunity. Kick looks good. It is. That's a really good set shot goal from Chisholm. Looked confident all the way and sat it up high, let the breeze do its work, and through for another Buffaloes goal. Their third for the quarter again. They kicked three in the previous quarter, and Chisholm's got a couple on the board. Hasn't really had a lot of involvement outside of those couple of goals, but you're always happy to find someone that can hit the scoreboard.
And he showed some promising signs. I think if he can sort of pull some good footy together, he could almost be one of their most important players this year. Chisholm done a little bit all over the ground, but probably hasn't been the most consistent throughout the afternoon.
Yeah, obviously a talented player, plays league football in South Australia with the Bulldogs. So back in the middle of the ground, Cody Leggett first to it. Just gets stripped of it in the end by by Jared Stokes. Gets the hand pass backwards, and they're going backwards to go forwards here as it comes out to Spry, and well controlled again. And he finds Gooey. Gooey drills the pass in, gets past a couple of Buffaloes players and tidied up, and Wanderers looking to run it out now. Leggett hand passes backwards to Fuller, and the chip pass comes back to Leggett, who kept running forward. He's got a couple of options on the outside, short, and he goes that way, and Wanderers looking to build here. Now it comes out to Arthur. Arthur long on the left foot, goes down towards half forward. JJ Motlop, a bit of a goose step there, trying to put his opponent off, but it didn't work, and Buffaloes will run it out again. And Spry, once again, he's been a bit of a distributor off half back, as you said, Will. He's had a good game, and Wanderers just, again, work it back. Matthew Motlop running away, chips it over the top to JJ Motlop. And Matthew kept running, almost handed to him by Jojo as the pass comes in. The big fella Phillips couldn't take the mark. O'Connell at ground level tried to force it forward. There'll be a holding free kick paid there, you would think. No, play on's the call, and the ball's caught in underneath. So Philip Wills can't believe that he wasn't paid a free kick there. Arms out, gesturing, asking the umpire. But a ball up at half forward.
And the pace of the game has certainly picked up in this last quarter as well, Stu. It sort of felt like what you expect from a Premier League game. Is Thompson, he goes inside the forward 50 now, handballs to himself, very tight. He has a snap towards goal. Plenty of numbers there in light blue though, and one of them is Jack Austin, takes the mark. He's been pretty good today as well.
Yeah, he has.
Now Luke Atkinson having to beat two. Try and put chase, but Motlop just has a bit more on him. Gets it over the top and will get it back. No, he won't. Kicking inside 50, Brayton Wright picks out the Buffaloes defender. Spry takes the mark. Just tells him to settle it down. Not long left in this one. 43-point margin. And it could be a lot more if you think back to that first quarter, that first half even. 3 goals, 12 it was at half time. 2 goals, 8 of those were kicked in the second quarter alone. So they could have absolutely piled them on. Spry's 50-metre penalty will again be unmarked, so a little bit of ill discipline, and the kick wasn't great. Just cleared Lehman a bit too easily and bounced over the boundary line. Buffaloes have certainly pulled away a little bit in this last quarter. 3 goals to their name. They'll be trying to get a 4th one from this stoppage, you would think. Aiden Grace will take up the ruck duties as well. Tap down. Humphrey gets a handball out. Here comes Grace. Fires one out there to Jack Jones, but a little bit too much on it, and we'll have another boundary throw in. Punch down there by Priest. Here comes Coombs. Lehman almost driven into the ground.
That was interesting by Priest, wasn't it? Backhanded swipe, trying to get it out of the congestion, but there's plenty of numbers around this stoppage now.
Well, nearly into the hands there of Jones. That looked like a little bit of a set piece there. I think that was a double-handed netball throw almost, or a basketball pass, and he's called that pretty easily. So it's going to be a free kick to Luke Atkinson. It's going to end up in the hands of. Gets it off to Bradley Stokes. Umpire calls play on. Gee, that's a good-looking kick. Is there enough on it? No, the wind just pushes it to the side and through for a behind.
A bit of confusion. It was very quick hands. Might have got a little fist on it, but umpire in the middle of the ground didn't like what he saw, so the free kick was paid.
Play on from full back. Looking out here.
Oh, good mark.
Good mark there to Phillips. Pushes it in. And again,
that had to be pinpoint, and was.
Starting to link up now. Where was this a few quarters ago? Comes to Dre Thompson. Pushes it out wide. Wirchin has been far from their worst today as well. Inside 50 he goes. Always at a mark. think it will be. So O'Connell kicked their first one back in that third quarter. Can he add a second one for his tally today as we hit 19 minutes in this final term?
Yes, Sebastian O'Connell with the set shot. Looks to become Wanderers' first multiple goal scorer here. Taking plenty of time over it.
And he comes now. Relatively pedestrian there as well. There's been a few of those today, Stu. Maybe they've forgotten that they're back playing footy in the Premier League and it's not training anymore.
Yeah, not really purposeful in their approach, a lot, some of them, as Buffs move it out of defence. Humphrey just spills it and then goes back, has time to collect, gets the hand pass inboard, and they're just looping it around on the outer side now. Bring it back into the middle of the ground. That's a well-weighted kick. And Jones gives it off to Gooey, running through the middle. Oh, beautifully picked up on the half volley. And hand pass inboard. They've still got some numbers out in space as the hand pass comes out the back. Atkinson wheels around on his favoured left foot, kicks long towards goal, but just pulled it across to the right and through for a behind.
Inboard to Leggett. He'll keep going all day, you'd think. And ball pushed out there. It's a handover. Kalen Russell been all right today as well. Kick out for 50 comes in to Mealy. He launches as well, looking for Lehman. Oh, nearly spills through hands and over for, that was probably the highlight of the day so far, and it didn't even come off. A good specky attempt in the goal square.
Yeah, had the set, but just couldn't control it, unfortunately. Fuller again to bring the ball back into play. They've got that work to do.
Coombs. Oh, gee, handball over the top. Hutchison to Stokes. Stokes has a snap on goal. And that one goes through. So Bradley Stokes adds his name to the scoreboard as well. And that margin now out. What are we? 51 points it is in favour of the Buffaloes.
Yeah, their fourth goal for the quarter. Bradley Stokes pushing up from his position at half back. And yeah, as the Buffaloes team's squeezed in to keep the ball in their forward half, and an opportunist goal. He's had a couple of goes. He took that handball receive from the free kick out on the boundary line that just missed, so yeah, gets himself a goal on the board, and the Buffaloes march on with 4 goals to 2 in this final quarter. Just getting themselves organised here.
A little bit of a number check. Leggett having to move into the back line. Be a free kick. 6-6-6 rule going in favour of the Buffaloes. Kick it long. Grace couldn't quite work to it, and it's 2 Melbourne fans, Stu. That's the thing of nightmares, that 6-6-6 rule.
Yes. Got to be good enough to take advantage, though.
Absolutely. Ball comes in now. Tapped down by Coombs, who's been really good today as well. Probably in the vote getters, you'd think. Lehman's handball, maybe not to advantage. He sockers it off the ground. It's wide, through for a behind. 52-point margin here.
Yeah, 10 goals, 20. So could have been anything today for the Buffaloes, but they'll be happy to start the season with a win, that's for sure.
Leggett goes to Dos Santos. And despite that scoreline, it doesn't feel like it's been super dominant for the the Buffaloes. Probably more a show of their opponents today, who really just didn't bring enough fight for any of the contest really until late in that third quarter and the first part of this fourth quarter. It's always going to be hard to win games when that's what you're bringing. Keelan Fijo tries to turn his opponent inside out, ends up over the boundary line there.
Yeah, Philip Wills has had that role in defence all day, and you get the impression that it's going to be his role going forward, just to help organise from the back half.
Similar role to what Ashton Hams plays at Tiwi Bombers, just as you said, organising everything from that last post. Coming out to Leggett now, looking for a target inside 50, and a good mark, good lead from JJ Motlop in the end.
Great pass from Leggett. He's been trying to get those all day and hit some targets. Some of them, the marks have been spilt, but JJ able to take that one. But this is a very, very tough kick from, well, he's outside the boundary line at the moment. The wind is blowing the ball away from the goal.
His eyes were darting, so I'm not sure how confident he is. And that one, oh, it's across the face, no mark taken. Not enough Wanderers there to add support, so Coombs will come out pretty easily. Finds Kaylee Roberts a long way from home. And on the turnover, he goes inside 50 again, looking for one last bit of cheer. Humphrey almost taken high, but the siren will blow before anything can come of it. In the end, a 52-point margin to the Darwin Buffaloes to kick off their 25-26 campaign.
Yeah, that's right. They've controlled the game all day, really, and as we've said a number of times.
Who are we? We are the Buffaloes. B-U-F-F-A-L-O-E-S. Buffaloes! You go home and get your standings, I'll go home and get my panties, and away we'll go. Oh, shuffle up the buffalo, shuffle up the buffalo. Oh, buffaloes never die, never die, never die. Oh, buffaloes never die, they simply fade away. How do you do, all your buffaloes? How do you do? How do you do? How do you do, all your buffaloes? How do you do? How do you do? It's the same old street refrain that the buffaloes won the game. How do you do, all your buffaloes? How do you do? They all play a jolly good game of volley-boo. They all play a jolly good game of volley-boo. They all play a jolly good game, but buffaloes beat them all the same. Inky pinky volley-boo. How do you do, all your buffaloes? How do you do? How do you do? How do you do, all your buffaloes? How do you do? How do you do? It's the same old street refrain that the buffaloes won the game. How do you do, all your buffaloes? How do you do? Oh, buffaloes never die, never die, never die. Oh, buffaloes never die. They simply fade away. They simply fade away. They simply fade away.
Dre Thompson and Daniel Clee had some moments, but really they didn't have enough to threaten Buffaloes. And the good thing for them is it's round one. They get the chance to have a look at what they've produced today and go away and start working on the rest of the season. And for Darwin, that's a really positive start to the season, and they'll go into next week with plenty of confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. And pending tomorrow's result, Waratah versus Pint, they could end up top of the ladder, unthrown territory for them, but a great way to start their season.
Yeah, that's right. So good luck to them. Of course, they had that unfortunate tragedy in the pre-season, which they acknowledged today at the start of the game, and they've responded really well. And I think they've recruited pretty well. They had a number of players in the side today that are new to the club, and you can see they're all pretty excited down there. And it looks positive for them going forward. Of course, they'll meet stronger sides in the weeks to come, but you can only play against what you've got on the ground at the time, and that's a really positive start, as we've said a number of times, for Buffaloes. But that's it from us here at TIO Stadium this afternoon. Don't forget, of course, there's still one more game to come in round one, and that's tomorrow at 4 p.m. local time. Waratah versus Pint should be a fantastic contest once again. So, but from here today, from TIO Stadium, it's the Darwin Buffaloes 10-20-80 defeating Wanderers 4-4-28. Thanks for your company. We'll catch up with you next time.